It's the time for package from China. Oh yeah, it's time for the Pandora Game jungle. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's awesome that you're tuning in. So in this video, I just wanted to take a close look at this device. I'm just going to be honest, I have this thing laying around for a very long time. So on the box, a lot of information. This is a Pandora OS game system. They also call it the Pandora Game Dongle. Yeah, I think it's not really a dongle, it's still a game console. It's also called the GB350. And what I love about these boxes are just the description on it. Like when you're looking at support, read and write. We're like, okay, a variation of languages, classic games, support wired handle, and support wireless handle. Alright, so which one I'm going to get, don't know. But this is more like the most epic part. The classic reproduce. Classic reproduce. Well, like, that sounds so weird, you know? Richer, smoother, more stable, zero latency, and superior performance. Yeah, right. So, especially the last part is quite hilarious. I know I'm going to do a teardown. We're going to get ourselves like a very low power chip. But let's take a close look inside the box itself. It's always like fun to do an unboxing with you guys. So it comes in a very nice packaging. Here you can see like they're using very good styrofoam. So this basically the console itself. I must say it weighs quite heavy. Like, yeah, it's kind of weird to call it a dongle, because a dongle you plug it in your television. This is nothing like a dongle, it's just a game system. But it comes in this very nice metal casing. We do have a Type-C connection over here, the slot for the SD card, HDMI out. I'm guessing this is the setting button that we're going to take a closer look at later, and two USB ports. So the design itself is quite interesting. Of course, we do get ourselves the toilet paper manual. Like, it's very poorly printed. I know like they're using the toilet paper like always, like there's even no English so far you can see. So we're going to get the wireless version, and not to forget, let's do the smelly test. Ah, they are chemical as it can be. But when it comes to these controllers, it's always like a mixed, or a hit or miss, because yeah, this is like the okay quality. Everything feels okay, so these are like more expensive versions. But they're also giving us like the freaking PlayStation controller. HDMI cable, there we go to get the USB to Type-C. Two separate dongles, because we do have two controllers. Sometimes we do have the option to buy like a kit that would have like one freaking dongle with two controllers. And the most positive thing about that is, if you want to have like a system like this, you want to play with 4 players, you can hook it up like this. But yeah, of course we can always use a USB hub. Alright, so I was connecting the device itself and I realized something. Yeah, so okay, it's great that you're going to give ourselves like a very nice long USB cable, but there is no freaking 5-volt adapter. That doesn't come with it, so there's something you need to buy separately. Take that consideration. I would not like to use this thing on your television, because most of the times this thing, you need to take, let's say, like a lot of amps to basically get this thing powered on. So I would not get enough amps from your television. Nevertheless, I would not even try to do that. So I'm not going to use this original cable because it's crap. I'm going to get myself the original one that I'm having with my television. Let's get myself some batteries, because these things work on 2 AAA batteries. Yep, some old school shizzle. Let's plug in the dongle and let's figure out which dongle I need to have. One of these I need to be working. And let's see what this thing is all about. So when you're plugging in the device itself, it will boot up automatically. So that's kind of bummer in my opinion. There is again no on and off switch. There is something like with these Chinese products and on and off switches. Most of the time you cannot find them with an on and off switch. Okay, so it seems to be like having the dongle that needs to be working with this controller. So you can see like the LED goes on green, so we're ready to go. So let's go. So when powering on, this is the menu where you're going to get. It's very similar to the Pandora Box 5 and number 6. If you're a regular viewer to the channel, you maybe already noticed that the Pandora Games OS is something we already have seen before. Yeah, so they are slapping these things in different boxes. At the right bottom corner, you can see they even do have like a 4-player configuration option. And when you're looking through the games, you will find sometimes 4-player options in here. But you also have like a category system. At the left, you can see over here, we do have like different like icons. So there's something we have seen with the Pandora Box 5, especially the Pandora Box 6. Sorry, having brain fart there. Pressing start brings us to the main menu. With this menu you have the option to select a category and even search for your games. So here we have like the 3 and 4 play option. So if you choose this, we do have the option to check out which games have the support for 3 or 4 players. So yeah, again, like it's going to be a little bit of a hassle, because you need to get yourself some separate controllers or at least a USB hub. We only have like 2 USB ports on the device itself. I already told you about the tiny button. I will show you when you press the button itself. You can see you go into the settings menu. And this is nothing really fancy. It's just a typical, let's say, your Pandora's box menu. Here we can go to the game settings. With the game settings you can change out some information or some stuff with the difficulty lies, edit game list, stuff like that. Nothing really interesting if you ask me. So here we also have the system configuration. That would be like the most interesting part. But the downside to this is that we're only having the enhanced image quality. You can just kind of wait like open, close or on and off. And what you're going to get with this is very simple. You're just going to get yourself the option, yeah, to like have this filter removed from your game so everything looks so pixelated like it should be. Or I think it should be. But there's no aspect ratio. Sorry guys, still they didn't change it. Okay, so let's begin with the UGU. And the downside to this is like, you can already hear it. Everything is on turbo mode. So a little bit of bummer about this Pandora Games OS bullshit is like, not all of the games will run perfectly. Like, look at this. It is Breaker's turbo mode. The first thing I'm noticing, like the D-pad is absolutely amazing on this controller. So for once they did not match it up with that. It's a different way to play, but it's not like it should be. So like what some of the Pandora's boxes, we do have the option to have a quick load and quick save. So that's pretty damn cool. Okay, so next up I wanted to try out Mortal Kombat Trilogy on the PlayStation 1. And the reason why, because in the first like edition they added PlayStation 1 support, they had the issue with no sound. So let's see if they still have this issue. Yeah, so this is just a problem when it comes to the file size or the way they basically like ripped the game to an ISO file. But a little bit of a bummer because this is an issue where I've seen before, and I don't know if you can see it on the camera, but this thing has like also a shitload of screen tearing. But let's boot up the game. Wouldn't be surprised that the game runs just fine, but without any background music. Loading times are almost the same like the original. But again, it's a bummer that they just messed it up like that. So easy to add music to it, but they don't really bother. Okay, so a new addition to this system, or better said, game system, is that we can play some 8-bit, but you know what, I don't want to keep bitching on this thing, but you can see like even here the lights are absolutely messed up. Wow. Are we going to get at least a decent gameplay? Nope, absolutely unplayable. You know that this is absolutely garbage. You know, like I don't understand why they add this stuff. Like it doesn't even run. And how is it possible that they cannot manage to get 8-bit running? Come on, man. Okay, so and there was something else they completely messed up. And that is the Pandora Games OS search engine. So here you can see like they're using weird names. So I was thinking, hey, okay, we have King of Fighters, like KOF. Let's search it like this. But here you can see like there's nothing coming up. That's like the main problem of this freaking bloody thing. There is no way of searching for King of Fighters. Here, like, I'm trying to put in King or Key and like nothing works. And that's such a big problem. So when it comes to this freaking system, even the search engine is absolutely garbage. Alright, so time for some beefcake and dinos. And the reason I just wanted to see if the game actually likes plays. Because so far so good. But there are some games that seem to be running just fine. The thing is filled with weird, let's say, weird versions. This is not the original one. They change out a lot of things. For example, we do have some extra, like, weird... I can get some weapons. What the hell? Like, what the hell is that? It's clobbering time. Oh, not really. Oh, I already lost it. My freaking weapon. So basically when it comes to this, there are only a couple of games that seems to be working just fine. It's a hit or miss. Okay, so a part of me is quite annoyed. And simply because this thing is really bad. I love the design. I can say like this thing, it's getting really hot. So I'm happy to give this thing like a metal enclosure. To give it at least a little bit of a cooling. So like the cooling solution, that is one of those many problems we've seen before with Pandora's boxes. But this thing, I don't understand. Like, why? What were they thinking? Like, you're completely redesign a new product and ending up with a piece of shit like this, because that's actually what it is. Yeah, there are some games that you can play. For example, there are some arcade games you can play together with 4 friends, or for 4 people, or Yeah, it would be so cool, man. Absolutely cool. But in the end, when you're looking at this, it's just a freaking joke. Absolutely a freaking joke. So far I understand there is no way of basically like modding this thing and try. Okay, now trying to find you get this thing out. Do I pull it out, or you can see over here they stacked up some freaking like thermal paste blocks to transfer the heat. Alright, so like I said before, like I need to have something to grab it from the HDMI connection. Alright. Okay, so just use some plastic over here. Very smart. Alright, with a short circuit in the inside. Oh, that is an interesting construction. So the way how it made it, I'm also like fascinated how they made these things. Alright, so we need to remove this with a couple of screws. Alright, well, let's do that first. So when I'm looking at this at the back, what is quite interesting is like you can still see this connection over here they're using with your family board. So that is interesting. Oh, okay, so they use like a double stacking thermal pads. So this is what we're going to get. So this is like your typical Allwinner A3. That is like your typical first generation of Pandora's boxes. Okay, so this Nanya chip is the RAM chip. It's around 1 GB, so nothing really fancy. So let's take a close look at the model. This is the GB2300S MBVB. So that's basically what it is. So it's quite interesting to see what they can produce over there in China. But I don't get it. I'm more like, get yourself a better chip, get yourself better software, and do it right. Because this is absolutely garbage. But fun to see what they can make over there. Okay guys, so this is what we're going to get with the Pandora Game dongle. I must say, like, I'm disappointed in many ways. It's still like, let's say, a fun product to see what they make, but when you're looking at the software part, it's absolutely garbage. Like, I don't get it, why they just release something like this. It's like, if people get this, they will be disappointed. Come on, man, like, NES didn't even run that well. And when it comes to MAME, it's a mix, like say, a mixed bag, or better said, like a mixed performance, because some games will run just fine, and some will not run at all, or not great. Let me know in the comments what you think of this. I want to thank you for watching. Consider subscribing, hit that as well, become a big family. I will see you in the next video.